How's it going, everyone? It's Liam Carlson here, and we're reacting to another episode for the originals, as we're on episode 19 of this season, with a few more episodes left to go before we do conclude this first season, and looking forward to jumping into this episode. Yeah, Marcel tried to push a few buttons with that last episode. There's obviously that attempt to break peace to everyone, every faction. Yeah, like I said, Marcel was trying to instigate a few things. It did cost him Thierry, but I guess he still won out at the end of the day because he did convince a bunch of others to, I guess, be on Team Marcel, including Diego, who was quite adamant on the fact that he was not joining Marcel's side. So, yeah, like I said, I mean, it's a bit of a big loss considering the closeness he had with Thierry, but at the same time, it was, I guess, a sacrifice, really. So, yeah. But, yeah, it was really, really great stuff, that last episode. Excited to get into this episode. So that said, it is episode 19 of this season of the originals. Let's go.
If only it could save you.
What's her deal? Oh no, he's hallucinating. That's the thing. Because I was going to say, what's her deal being back?
Be gone, demon. Kelly.
Uncle Kieran?
But considering their last attempt ended with me relieving a rather large tattooed gentleman of his hands, I began to wonder if the thief wasn't a bit closer to home.
I love how...
Don't make this harder than it needs to be.
Yeah, he's not really entertaining Klaus's worries here.
One that will only provoke further violence. You see, you risk turning New Orleans into a war zone, brother. I won't let that happen.
The drums
if there's any powder keg, should I say, it's going to be Klaus.
Cool. It's just a priest hexed by a witch because of some vampires. Except that these things are real, then forget them. I mean, later. You forget them later.
He's already forgotten them.
Okay, let me start over.
Oh God, Josh. I love you.
My uncle needs to be sedated. Something strong.
Sedation. He looks like he should be in an...
Oh shit! Oh shit! I thought, no, I'm not gonna lie though, with the hair and whatnot, he looked like Klaus. The real casualty is Elijah's suit.
It's okay. Here, come here.
Jeez. This is messed up. I'm Haley. How do you know it was the vampires? Like, it could be Marcel, but have you stopped to think it could be other factions at work?
He shouldn't suffer.
He's been suffering for weeks. He's dying, Klaus.
I think
This might be the only chance he's got.
I think what Klaus is trying to say is put him out of his suffering. Jeez. Oh no!
Get everyone out
Oh
here.
no! Oh no! Shit! That was just a warm-up!
Heartbeat's irregular. You can't keep this up. It'll kill
No.
him.
No.
Cammy,
Die.
we need to have a word in private.
I feared it would go this way. That's the sad thing.
I think you need to prepare yourself. This story does not have a happy ending.
But the treatment's
We'll kill him.
You can't keep trying to
Were you
treat
to push him over the brink, I would hate for you to have to live with that.
With Cammy, she already went through enough guilt and pain when it came to Sean. She doesn't need that. He doesn't need that emulated again when it comes to Father Kieran. Especially, it might. I don't know if it would be worse because obviously with Sean, twins have a really, really deeper connection than I guess any kind of relative. But It's the fact that it's what Klaus said. You don't want to live with that guilt in terms of you kept pushing and you kept pushing. You were so determined to find a way, and then you just rather than give him a peaceful end, if anything. He ended he just died in pain. So no matter the noble cause, of course.
Where Marcel is, and we can both get on with our day.
Yeah, don't piss her off.
You think I'm playing? There were families
Queen!
out there.
Children.
He used to keep a place. 93.
This is fascinating. Would it be possible to speak to the witches responsible?
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You tell him to piss off. Oh, ah! Holy shit.
Jean, so she can't heal. Not like us.
My blood could heal her.
Vampire blood?
Do you want her to live? Oh my god. He's trying to help out.
Thing about kids?
So I've heard.
Oh.
And kids were
You
casualties.
did more than hear about it. Andrea Labonaire.
He's really. Oh my god.
Perhaps his death would be a mercy.
Do it. Just do it, please. Klaus, I can't let him die, not like this.
It does really suck for Father Kieran. I'm not gonna lie.
How long have you known who I am?
Cammy and
I saw how interesting.
Anyway, I should believe anything that you have to say.
Believe whatever you want. But you were the last Labonaire.
What?
I mean, could have been a lot of leverage for our side. But instead, I took you to Father Kieran.
Sheesh.
Klaus and Elijah follow closely behind.
Well, I can't say that wouldn't be a positive side effect.
Look, if they want to go.
Follow your own advice.
I was born here, Haley.
So was I.
She's not leaving her pack.
After he wakes.
We'll be in transition, craving blood, but I'll be back before then.
I don't think this is a good.
He's gonna be furious with me.
It's a good idea for Cammy,
As a priest, I
but
turned him into a vampire. What kind of desperate move is that?
You know as well as I do.
I could feel it like a living thing inside of me.
oh,
It's gone.
okay, maybe it did. Maybe I need to stop being a pessimistic twat.
Grow stronger.
I know how it works.
Then you also know if you do not feed, you will die.
What if he chooses to
I
die?
know if that's the choice that I have to make. I'm dead already.
Shit.
Terrible liar.
Damn it. Look, all you gotta do is just trigger the curse. You'll heal.
Oh,
It's who
parallels
you are.
here.
It's who
Oh,
you
we got
are.
parallels here.
But I didn't agree to all this. They stabbed me in the back, and now you're...
Who? Who put you up to this?
Son of a bitch.
Stupid kid.
Yeah, tell him.
I had to do whatever it took
To rile up the
to make us strong.
Yo, fuck
Do that
you.
even now.
Holly.
First you do this audacious shit and now... Oh, this bastard needs to die. This bastard needs to drop.
And you are going to turn around and you're going to walk out of here without looking back.
Oh, Cammy.
Okay, kiddo?
Roller coaster this episode, right?
Promise me. Without looking back.
And unfortunately, in troubled times, people do not look for the best,
They just look for
but
retribution.
rather the loudest.
The whole actions speak louder than word things.
I'm surprised to see you here.
Snooping as usual, Genevieve.
The attack, like my child. Tell me what you know. He has been released from the hex.
Yeah, but I don't think he wants to... Wait, unless it's not gone?
A final offering to complete your penance.
Oh no.
That which you hold most.
That's it, Klaus is gonna have to go and kill him, maybe. Before he goes to Cammy. Oh no. Okay, no. Oh, and she landed on her feet as well.
Kill her. Rejoice in life eternal.
Oh my god. There we go. Had to do it.
Trial is suspended for the next 24 hours. You may return to the quarter to bury your friend.
Why are you doing this?
Oh, damn.
She woke in the dark, not knowing where she was.
It was around his neck, just like you said.
Shit, the key. Then he mentioned...
Yes, I do not feel awesome about this.
I know. But people are gonna be coming after this, and Cammy's not ready for that, not yet.
Oh, it was all a matter of protection.
Upon our home. And if I'm to choose a side,
the winning one. Be on the winning side, the survival.
To our victory, brother.
The ones that will inevitably stand tall because they're the originals. Ugh. Kind of music to like Klaus's ears, because it's like, I told you so. I told you so. This shit was always going to happen. So yeah, Oliver is a little bastard. I mean, he was being very dodgy anyways for these past few episodes, and then he pulls this shit. Not just against, necessary sacrifices, right? But also to Eve as well, because she, was appalled by this whole bullshit, and it's just, yeah. But again, it is quite the tragic episode, really, because, I mean, obviously, yeah, Eve. It is a very, very heartbreaking situation for Eve to fight this whole... Because that's it, though. She tried to steer away from activating the gene. And it was either that or die, so it's really heartbreaking there. But not... I feel like, obviously, the most heartbreaking element is definitely the whole Father Kieran situation. So... And it's just sad, because I feel like death was inevitable. I mean, they say that about life, but... it just sucks. Here's the thing. I really loved the guessing game that was going on in this episode as well, because, yeah, with the last episode, obviously there was plans to kill the baby, by the witches, because they are pieces of shit. So, yeah. And it's reasonable to think, well, this is going to dart back to Marcel after the shit that he pulled. With the last episode as well, or at least with what happened with Thierry, because I think he was the one that caused. There was the mastermind planning, and then there was the person who pulled the trigger. So yeah, but still, it darts back to Marcel, as well as the fact that there is a bit of animosity there when it comes to the wolves. So yeah, and I immediately dismissed it because children were caught up in that attack, and yeah, Marcel's aware that there's going to be children in the bayou, So he's not going to try something audacious he's going to have a bit more tact to it. So, yeah. So I was just thinking, it's all going to dart back to the witches, but you got that revelation that Oliver had something to do with the bombings, and it's just like, this son of a bitch. So, and that's it though. There will be sacrifices. I mean, there will be people that will be caught up in the explosions, and Oliver's going to be like, well, it sucks that happened, but if it's going to make a point, then deep down it's going to be for the greater good, isn't it? In terms of, because he's making a power play. He's trying to force his faction to rise up and take a stand rather than just be shoved to the sidelines, and it's just rough. So he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the Wolves are going to be the top dogs, rather than, Jackson or Haley making moves that aren't really, they're not doing any favors, and it's just really ridiculous. So, yeah. But that's it though. He said he didn't know, that it would be that bad, etc. But see, I'm in a position where I don't know if I am to believe him or not, but again, I think either way, it's for him, it's going to be down for the greater good, in a sense. Whether he is pretending, oh, I didn't know it would be that bad, or whether he's just bullshit, whether he's being honest or not, it's all for the great good at the end of the day. So, because that's it though, innocents were caught up in the crossfire, and he's just so, if he had a bit of, if he had a shred of decency about him, he would not, after expelling those words about, trying to protest, or trying to proclaim his innocence, should I say, wouldn't have tried to rally up the others and try in the wake of tragedy, right? So he's a piece of shit. He is an absolute piece of shit. But yeah, it was just really interesting to see how things would play out. Really, because yeah, because again, I was wondering who this was all going to dart back to, and to see if, even if I immediately dismissed it, if Marcel had any, way to, basically to see his reaction of the massacre, really. So, yeah, but like I said, I dismissed it immediately, especially with children and innocents just getting caught up in the crossfire. Yes, his side may have had some animosity with the Wolves, but children, we know that is a really sore point when it comes to Marcel, because, they don't deserve it. And, I mean, to be fair, nor do the innocent adults that got caught up in the crossfire, but I think there is quite a bit of history in terms of what he went through with Davina, of course, as well, that really creates this this difficult point, this situation that Marcel cannot tolerate in terms of seeing kids getting hurt. So, and it did segue to very, very interesting lore that he that Marcel mentioned in regards to knowing about Haley's biological dad, I think it was. So yeah. But yeah, it was very, very interesting to see Marcel reveal that he knows about who she really is as well, because he full named her as well. He full named Haley as well. So it's not just the fact that he knew the parents, but also the fact that he knew who she really, really was. So and the fact that he tried to save Haley, and again, just starting back to the whole need to protect the kids that he does have. So And right now he is also aware that Haley has a bit of a target on her back, so he's trying to make her get out of town, save her skin. So, but I've got to say though, Haley was a complete badass when it came to her trying to interrogate the likes of Diego in terms of, look, I know it was you bastards who did that, so yeah. Even if she was a bit wrong on that one. But again, you can't really blame her for feeling like it was going to be a targeted attack from Marcel's group, given the events of the last episode. It's not just a baseless accusation. There is a reason why. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's really, really interesting as well to see Marcel's story come about as well, because of course with the family key as well, we know that Marcel has possession of that. Not because there is some kind of sly shenanigans going on, because it was really, really interesting to see what he had to say afterwards. Even Josh was like, I don't like this whatsoever. And Marcel acknowledged that. But Marcel also has this kind of idea. Now, whether there is, of course, something more to the motive remains to be seen. But 2 points did stand out is the fact that people will be coming after the key, and he doesn't want to drag Cammy through any more shit. I mean, we know that Marcel loves Cammy so much, and will do anything to protect it. So he's got to take the key, and yeah. Yeah, is it going to be, is Cammy probably going to be livid? Maybe, but there are signs of gratitude there and protection that Marcel is implementing in terms of taking the key. So, yeah. But, yeah, this was really, really powerful stuff, this episode. I mean, I felt so bad for Kieran. So, here's the thing. I was saying in the middle of the reaction how I'm being a pessimist, aren't I? Like, I'm not being very hopeful this morning. No, I just felt so bad because I felt like this was going to go in one direction for Father Kieran, and it was going to be one of those, painful pills to swallow, because I was even thinking, well, because here's the thing, I even said at the beginning when he did show signs of clarity, etc. That and Cammy came with an idea. I was like, can we not restart his heart or something like that? I mean, yeah, it would be a bit difficult, especially with the fact that he's bounded to the attic, or the upstairs, should I say. So it would be a bit difficult to pull that off, really, without any kind of hospital assistance, really. I mean, they did get a medic in here, but yeah. And yeah, I mean, there was that idea to turn him into a vampire, but even then I was thinking, well, surely, the hex was gone, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to stop being very, very cynical. But it was only going to be a temporary solution. So, yeah. I just had a bad feeling that it was going to be it was not going to work like that. If they were going to turn him into a vampire, it's not going to work like that. And Cammy's trying to she's trying to make the best options in her perspective, which is all fine and good, and it's understandable. Not just because you don't want to lose someone, especially seeing the pain that they're going through, but it's also similar to what Sean went through, and she can't have a repeat of that. So I don't blame Cammy for wanting to, for allowing Klaus to go through that decision. Because it is a very, very huge moment, but also it's a moment that, she's trying to make sure that she doesn't have another incident of what happened to Sean. And sadly, he went that way. So, yeah. I'll say though, him biting off his fingers was just that really, really shook me. I wasn't prepared for that shit whatsoever. Oy. But yeah, I mean, it was just really, really, and it was just really, really heartbreaking as well. Gotta give kudos to Klaus as well for, like, I mean, all hands were on deck for him in this episode, given the fact that there's obviously situations, there's a situation going on at the Bayou, and Elijah mainly was handling that, especially since he was there anyways. But there was that going on, and then, of course, the whole shtick with Father Kieran. But, I mean, he tried to come with Cammy, because, again, like with Marcel, which is obviously deliberate, there is this admiration that he does have, that Klaus does have for Cammy. And there is a bit of a rapport, I would say, between Klaus and Kieran, and he knows that, well, this is probably not what Kieran wants at the end of the day, and it's like in the long run it might not be what you want, and the only thing really is to end his suffering, really. So yeah, and he's trying to come with such delicacy, but also knows that this is a very, very it was a very, very difficult situation for him to, yeah. It's just really, really, it is just really sad. But you got to admit that Klaus was, like, he showed a bout of humanity in this episode. Like, even allowing Marcel to have, okay, you've got 24 hours of a freebie, because Cammy does need you, and I guess what remains of Father Kieran needs you, really, in terms of giving him that burial, etc. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, it was really, really great for Klaus to show a bit of a bit of that humanity when it came to Cammy, especially with the fact that Cammy needed his help, and Klaus he did show a bit of graciousness in this episode. So, but yeah, he also tried to come with reasoning as well when it came to Cammy with the decision of turning Father Kieran into a vampire. And it's also the fact that you just don't know if this is going to undo the curse. And it would be even worse with him being a vampire if the curse, which it did, remained. So, but yeah, it did suck. I felt so bad for Father Kieran with what he was going through. And it is sad it went the way I imagined it would go, but I also feel so bad for Cammy as well. I mean, it was a roller coaster. She had a little bit of hope as well when he had that, like, 1 second of clarity. And things were just looking really, really worse. She gave Klaus the green light to turn Kieran into a vampire, and even if it wasn't really probably the best option, but it was for Cammy's perspective, but like in that moment especially. But you've also got to understand that she lost Sean, and she's going to lose Kieran in the same way, and she's trying to revert. She'll do anything to avert that. So I think a lot of us would be in a position where if we had someone who was family to us, who was suffering, like if we lost someone and then another person goes through the same kind of predicament that previous person went through, we'd go above and beyond to make sure that didn't happen again, especially if it's very, very traumatic like what Sean went through. So yeah, but I also really liked the parallels that were going on in regards to Kieran with being turned into a vampire, and Eve activating the gene. So yeah, because it is not an easy decision to make, especially if you don't want it. And like I said, I think Kieran wouldn't want it. I mean, yeah, even yeah, he even had that whole idea of not wanting to seemingly continue to live. So yeah, but I really felt like it was just a really powerful episode. Really sad stuff, but yeah. So, but I just felt like this was really great. I mean, it was very massive in terms of getting rid of a couple of characters. I know Eve wasn't that massive compared to Father Kieran, but I mean, there is still going to be very heavy consequences as well. Especially for the Wolf faction, thanks to Oliver, because he's a little bastard. So, yeah, it was just really, it was just a really great episode. So, yeah, and as we're a few episodes away from completing this season, I feel like things are definitely going to ramp up, especially since Klaus is happy that things are essentially going his way, or he's got the "I told you so" approach, basically. So, yeah. But yeah, great episode, solid stuff. So I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds and channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!